Alright, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down LA podcast belong to me, K Stacks to Pete, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly serious, overly sensitive, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you're mad, you might want to log off now. And for everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down LA podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? It's your boy K Stacks to Pete, and welcome back to another podcast episode. I'm not gonna say what day it is, but you know what? Honestly speaking, why switch it up? Why change anything? Let's keep it the way it is. It is a Saturday morning right now. If you guys know, the podcast is supposed to drop every Friday, but it's been my first week of my new job, so my schedule was affected, and I wrongfully assumed that I would be able to keep the same routine with the different schedule, but I learned very quickly that's not the case, and that wouldn't really, it wasn't going to be able to be a viable option this week. So instead of trying to fight it and try to basically put out bullshit, give you guys a week effort, I just decided to postpone the recording of the podcast, and in postponing it, the original goal was to do it after work, but anytime I would come home after work, not in landscapes, it's like day near 11 o'clock at night. Energy just wasn't there. And one thing about this podcast, I like to have my energy up. I like to be, I like to just, it's like I said, it's just quality over quantity for me. So rather than to give you guys something bullshit, I was like, even if I give you guys a shorter episode, I'd much rather be up and alert for it to give you guys quality content that I know you guys deserve. So that's why, if you guys are noticing this week, the podcast is going to be dropped a little later than normal, but it still will be dropped this week. The goal is to drop it before Sunday. And if I have to drop it on Sunday, at least that way it is what it is. But, the goal is to have it at least out by today, But if not, like I said, it's going to be very much early morning tomorrow and whatnot. But that's to give you guys the context of why we are here where we are, which is basically on a Saturday morning, The most that I postponed it was a Friday, but as you can see, I had to postpone it 2 times, But this time around, I'm not going to speak on any Friday activities. I'm going to stop it at Thursday, still. So, just so you guys know, I'm only going to be able to speak on, so that way I'm not mixing up the weeks and stuff like that. So, what episode are we on? We are currently on episode 50. Yes, we are on episode 50 of the Stay Down LA podcast, which means that for the last 50 weeks, I have been uploading an episode each week. And that means that's 50 episodes of the Stay Down LA podcast, So that's really good. I'm really proud. So definitely want to give a big shout out to you guys and a big shout out to myself. Thank you guys for all you guys do. Thank you guys for listening to my content, any form of it, any way that you guys engage with it. It's greatly appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So now, this is, So I made this, under the brand or under the guise of my Stay Down Network brand, so this is like a subcategory or a part of the brand, it's right under the umbrella, and the umbrella is Stay Down Network, and that is something that I created as a personal way to just showcase my talents and just express my way in the way that I feel like makes the most sense for me. I like to think of myself as an individual, I like to think outside the box, I don't necessarily go with the trends. I don't necessarily go with what everybody else is doing. So because of that, I decided, instead of me waiting for someone else's brand or waiting to be noticed or platformed, I decided just to platform myself. So that was the curation and creation and inspiration for Stay Down Network. And with that, I made Stay Down LA, which is where I post all my content. That's my Instagram. Stay Down LA Fitness, which is where I post all my fitness content. And then, of course, the Stay Down LA podcast, which is where I come on here and I discuss topics and things that I find interesting, mainly movies, what I got going on throughout the week, and then, just whatever is interesting in the news or social media that I thought was kind of cool and I feel like people should talk about, or that I feel like people aren't talking too much about, And like I said, very much inspired by academics, DJ Academics. Big shout out to DJ Academics. Big shout out to Joe Budden Podcast, all the members on there. Because those are very well, might as well say those are the reason that I even started this, because of those podcasts, just seeing how, they just honestly speaking, it just was just one day I was just watching one of the episodes and they were like, man, if you want to do it, just do it. You know what I'm saying? But just try your best to at least just put some effort in it and look to the successful ones. And I thought, hey, these are two podcasts that I find very successful. I'm going to just emulate them, but in my own way. And that's what helped curate this. So, who am I? My name is K-Stacksdap. You know what I'm saying? That's KSTAKSDAP. By the P, I mean the player, but not in the normal sense or the, bad sense as some would think, whereas, you might be considering, oh, this guy must play a lot of women. No, I'm the player as in K-Stacksdap, as in I play video games, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really what it was, like, all that stuff. But it's grown into more things as I've always considered player to be cool. So when I say play something's really player, I mean like something's really cool, something's really dope, you know what I'm saying? So I always consider myself to be a really dope, cool guy. So I always consider myself to be a pretty player individual. So that's why I added K-Stacksdap. And where the K-Stacks come from, I make music. Originally I just was a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Started in high school. And then I just was like, hey, I'm actually kind of funny. So then I started making funny videos. But then I wanted my music to be taken seriously, so I stopped making the funny videos. But I still have that in me. I still have that ability. So I just started making just TikToks, regular workout videos, and then just, of course, continuing on with the music program. So that's really what I'm on, and that's really what I am and more about me. And you want to have an in-depth, explanation of who I am, just go check it out on the episode 1 of How to Stay Down LA. You know what I'm saying? And a big shout out to you guys. We have just reached over 500 listens on the podcast. So literally, like I said, if I'm just going off of the math, we have 500 plays divided by 49 episodes. That's about 10 plays per episode. So definitely, I'm super grateful. I'm very appreciative. But I know in reality, there's certain episodes that have more listens and more plays than others. But just overall, the fact that I'm even in that position is just a blessing. So thank you guys for that. So now, for the best part of the episode or of each podcast, I always feel like this is the best part to me, is the prayer. So, I am Muslim, so you guys do not pray. You probably should, but if that's not what you guys are into or that's not what you guys are on, you probably won't want to skip ahead and, get up out of here, because right now, I'm about to get into this prayer. So, with that being said, sorry guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was checking my stats right now because I just thought about it. I was like, I said what I said, but I'm like, hold on, I actually don't know the stats. Let's really get an accurate view of what the stats are. So according to my analytics, in the last 30 days, we've been doing really good. The most recent episode is above normal, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been loving that. So all-time streams, we have 468 streams, and per episode we have 3 plays. You feel me? So yeah, and then I even love how I get like a nice view. No, all-time is 541 plays, and then my audience is 81 people. That's cool. I love that. So on Spotify, I have 203 listens, and then everywhere else is 138. That's such a blessing. Thank you guys. And like I said, I ain't stopping. At most, I might just be late on the upload. You feel me? As you guys can see with this week, and that shit has been, in reality, it's been eating me alive. I've not been fucking with the lack of urgency that I've been having, but I think it's because I already know that the only way that I could fail is by not showing up. Like, I've already confirmed that with myself, that I know the only reason that I would probably ever not make a podcast is if I just don't. Like, as long as I give myself the room and ability to perform, I'm going to perform. It's just not performing is going to, of course, be, you know what I'm saying? And that, I think, was the issue of these last several days, was just like figuring out the right time to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kept putting it off. I kept coming up with excuses. I kept coming up with reasons why not right now would it make sense. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be an inconvenience, you know what I'm saying? But, overall, like every episode, once I get started, I feel way better and all that anxiety goes away. So, I will super to James Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim wa lad-dallin. Amin. Allah, I just want to say thank you so much for waking me up. Thank you so much for the opportunity to make another podcast episode. Thank you so much for guiding me. Thank you so much for protecting me. Thank you so much for watching over me. As that you continue to watch over me. As that you continue to protect over me. As that you continue to make me the head and not the tail. As that you continue to protect my family. Continue to protect my investments. Continue to protect my blessings. And continue to allow me to have more blessings, investments, and overall just more opportunities. Thank you so much for all the opportunities that you have given me up until this point. Thank you so much for answering all the prayers that I know and the prayers that I'm unconscious of knowing that I have been answered. Thank you so much for always keeping me safe. Thank you so much for allowing me to make it to and from home. Thank you so much for allowing my family and everybody that I love and care about to make it to and from home. And thank you so much for putting me in the situation that you have put me in, because even if I'm not able to notice it or figure it out in the moment, there's always a positive outlook and there's always a win somewhere. It's just depending on me and my mindset and the way that I look at it and my outlook to find that. And I will continue to find that as long as you continue to find, guide, and protect me. I want to say thank you and a big shout out to my angels up above, my grandma, my mom's side, my grandma, my dad's side. A big shout out to my auntie Bassett. Big shout out to Latif's mom. Big shout out to Latif. Big shout out to Khalila. Big shout out to Elliot. May you guys continue to rest in peace, and I ask that you guys continue to guide and protect and watch over me. Inshallah, mashallah, ameen. Allah, I ask that you pass these blessings on to the people that mention my name and people that don't mention my name. Everybody that I love, anybody that comes across this content, may they also be protected and may they also be guided and overall, may they be able to receive the things that they need to receive, the necessities, and be able to work towards what they need to work towards and be able to reach their goals. Inshallah, mashallah, ameen. Allah, thank you. Alright, so as usual, we always got to start off the podcast with a recap, or I guess you could say a overview of what the podcast episode will entail. Generally speaking, I feel like we're going to be able to get to all these topics, so I don't think there's any issues about being able to speak on everything. I think my issue is, or what I'm noticing, I need to stop try not to be long-winded with certain topics, you know what I'm saying? Just get on what I need to do, and then go about my day. I'm like, is this... wow, that's so funny. We had a similar situation like that yesterday. Oh wow, that's so funny. Oh wow, okay. So that's good. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading my word chat. But no, this episode I'm going to be talking about my weekly recap, basically from Friday to Thursday of this week. So Friday of last week to Thursday of this week, and let you guys know what I did. If there was anything interesting, we'll be discussing the movie Disclosure Day. I enjoyed it, but of course, you know, I'm gonna give you guys the real deal, spill, Holyfield, and like, you know, talk about what I feel like they did good, what they did bad, and like, you know, type shit. But big shout out to Steven Spielberg. I've been rewatching Jujutsu Kaisen recently. Overall, once I got the job, I've been trying to like curate what shows to watch. That way, I'm not just watching YouTube all the time, because at my old job, I used to watch YouTube to like get through the shift and stuff. So now that I'm like able to watch TV again like properly and not just YouTube videos all the time, I'm trying to like get my TV shows back up. So I decided to rewatch Jujutsu Kaisen and notice if there's anything that I could have noticed that's going to happen eventually at the beginning of the show, which I will say I have. And then of course I'm going to speak on some stuff that I seen on Instagram, just some things about Fox, Seth Rogen, EA, and then on Twitter I'm going to be talking about some Pizza Hut, the Joe Budden podcast, speaking on Jay-Z, and then Daveigh Chase passing away. If anything, we could probably get that out the way and do that first, because, you know, gotta give a moment of silence. So, Daveigh, I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong. Daveigh Chase, she sadly passed away at the age of 35. She was the voice actor for Lilo and Stitch. And also, Tay Keith also passed away. I didn't save it and I didn't write it down, but I also want to, you know what I'm saying, mention that. Tay Keith. So rest in peace to both of them. Rest in peace to that queen. Daveigh Chase passed away at 35. The actress was known for her performance in The Ring, as well as voicing Lilo and Stitch, and Chihiro in the English dub of Spirited Away. So rest in peace to her. You know what I'm saying? That's really sad that she passed away at a young age. And then Tay Keith passed away, and they said there's no foul play. But Tay Keith passed away. He was found dead in his Nashville home. You know, and apparently, he's currently or was having a lawsuit battle with Sexy Red. So I pray that with this situation is, you know, there's a whole how there's a resolution, you know. And then, like I said, as of now, they're saying there's no foul play suspected. You know, they're saying that he was just found dead in his apartment by officers doing a welfare check. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because it's like they say that he just passed away, but yeah, they're not saying anything like, you know. But let's play some of his popular songs.
You ain't heard about us? Come to the boy about repairing some shit. Don't come to the boy about sparing some shit. You lucky that vote was suing. You ain't heard about us? Well, you need to go watch the news. Niggas know we be dropping shit. Got the feds on my ass in the hood cause they think I'm the one who good kid, man. City van, we'll pot the latch and make the door slide. Tears running down my cheek, laughing at you pussy down and it's a war. Hey, it's a holiday. I got hoes on hoes and it control, yeah. Drive, look alive, niggas came up on this side, now I just flipped the switch, I don't know nobody else that's doing this, fuck a pigeonhole, I'm a night owl, this a different mode, I'ma have to make a pan of 6 on make this here with all the ice on in the booth.
Yeah, rest in peace to that king, man. Whoa. This can't be real. This gotta be an old clip. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm like, but yeah. So I have to just say that. So like I said, rest in peace to her. Oh my gosh, rest in peace to her and rest in peace to Tay Keith. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a moment of silence. Well, this guy DJ Academics, I ain't gonna lie. You know, some people, you know what I'm saying, it makes sense for them to lose weight and stuff. But I think it's because when you didn't work, when you didn't work out on it, it looks awkward. And it's even more funny because this nigga's over here trying to throw up gang signs, and we know for a fact this nigga Academics don't game bake or nothing. Academics, bro. Why'd you let them record you looking like this, fool? My nigga got the Dolce Gabbana. This is so funny. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, bro. That's so funny. I respect it though, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do to like be fit. But nah. So
smoking with me. I don't play that. So we plenty of weed to go around.
So instead of him smoking with her, he gave her some weed? Okay. Man. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would have. I just would have, what you call it? Man. Oh, and Oliver Tree passed away too. So rest in peace to Oliver Tree. You know. So Oliver Tree passed away as well. And I feel so bad, right? Because when I seen him that he passed away, I was like, I wasn't in the right state of mind. I'll just put it like that. So yeah, my apologies. So yeah, rest in peace Oliver Tree as well. But the reason I was saying what I was saying was because, whoa, what? Okay. Yeah, my apologies. So yeah, so rest in peace Oliver Tree. I was saying because that the reason that I wasn't I guess I was so confused when I seen all the tree things because I remember in one of his songs he was over thinking he said something about devil worshiping, and I remember I was with my ex at the time and it was just really awkward to hear that, you know what I'm saying? So when I seen that I was just like, oh man, but I felt bad because I didn't know he passed away, you know what I'm saying? So when I heard that I was just terrible because, you know, at the end of the day, whether or not you're a devil worshiper or not, I don't be wanting, you know what I'm saying, people, I don't know. I don't be wanting people to like pass away and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to die and stuff, so that's crazy. So rest in peace to all of them. But that was, you know, just the pass away or the rest in peace segment of the podcast, you know. I started to keep you guys, you know, all sad and stuff. But honestly speaking, like I said, I've been a little sad myself ever since the situation I told you guys I was in with the pullover situation and spend the night and, you know, saying the cell. I ain't been that, you know, motivated to just be the most happiest ever. You know what I'm saying? I hate that for myself because I feel like I'm usually more grateful, but I think that thing has been just looming over my head that I haven't been able to just relax about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. But you know, like I said, at the end of the day, Allah don't put me through nothing that I can't handle, and like clearly. Everything that I've been through is necessary, and I needed to go through it. So yeah, but so hopefully everything plays out as supposed to. So far it has been though. But like I said, that shit it's been bothering me. I've been pressed about it. I'll keep it a whole thousand. I'm gonna try to sit here in front and be like, oh yeah guys, I've been good. Like nah, I've been bothered, you know. Even when I just see police officers in just regular situations, it fucks with me. But nah, so starting on Thursday, coming on Friday, I called that the Tev's Kitchen day. Yeah, I was get some Tev's Kitchen. And man, my knees, bro. I gotta find a way to like really reset the pain or the effort that I'm putting on my legs, because clearly I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I need to just really have a gym session where I just focus strictly on the legs and recovery. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But no, on Friday, I woke up and I went to ride my bike, but I waited till the plan was to go ride my bike on Friday, but for some reason, anytime I know I have a bike ride, I never handle it earlier. I always wait till the day of to like check on my bike, and just so happened that my seat was still damaged. So because of that, I was not able to just instantly just head off to the beach to go start my bike ride. So instead, I was forced to have to go get my bike repaired real quick. So pretty much took my bike to my natural. Oh whoa. Oh yeah, I didn't. There's no color. I'm about to say. Yeah, and I probably missed the deadline because I honestly forgot all about this. Yeah, the deadline was June 1st. Ooh. Yeah, but I mean, if that's how they try to get your boy on a technicality that I didn't reach back out, it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I'm about to say, looks like these dates have already passed. Keep it a being with y'all. Dang, man. So hopefully, I'm looking at, for the listeners, I'm currently looking at my Sacks Off 5th, chapter 11 paperwork. I was just trying to clean up this area. Yeah. So we're gonna see. So the key dates and everything, literally the last key date was June 5th at 9 a.m. So it's June 20th. So I'm guessing if there was any follow-up, they're just going to let me know. But because of that, I might as well keep this documentation then, right? Just to be on the safe side. So at least I have proof that they said something to me. Because in case they try to pay anybody out, I need to be on that list of them people getting paid out. Dead owners. So yeah, on Friday, went to my favorite bike shop, Lenar's Bike Shop. Big shout out to them. You know, I've been messing with them for the last couple of years now. It's been consistent. They've been doing their thing, so I'm gonna keep going back to them. I just want to organize my area a little bit, y'all. Sorry for the viewers that are watching. So you guys probably like, what the hell is this nigga doing? But nah, that's all good. So yeah, I went to go get my bike fixed, but my run miles is already high for the week. I wasn't pressed about missing a day, you know. So after I finished uploading the podcast, because it was doing an issue on Friday, I didn't get ready to go. Oh. So pretty much, maybe I didn't go ride my bike that Friday, because I'm looking at it, and I think what I meant to say was, yeah, I didn't go, but I did work out that Friday for sure. Or did I not? There's no way. Thursday, okay, Thursday. But then on Friday, on Friday I wasn't feeling good. On Friday, that boy had a sore throat and shit. Still. Yeah. So on Friday, I didn't actually go freaking work out or do anything, actually. I was supposed to go freaking ride my bike. But because my bike wasn't repaired, the seat wasn't fixed, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go ride my bike pretty much. So instead, I just went to go see. After I uploaded my podcast episode 49, make sure you guys go check it out. I went to go see Disclosure Day. So after I finished uploading the podcast, I didn't go see Disclosure Day at the movies, but I went to get some Tev's Kitchen. Big shout out to my nigga Tev's Kitchen. But they have two locations. They have the Gardena one, and they have the one that's in, let's just say the Crenshaw district. So the Gardena one is closer to my AMC, but I didn't see the way to order online. It looks like the website only allows online ordering at the original location, and I don't. One thing about me, I know Tev's Kitchen takes a minute, so I was like, I'm not trying to go waiting online. So I decided to do an order pickup for the original location, and I set the movie to be at the Cinemark in that area. But I don't know what it is sometimes about me. I think sometimes I hesitate with my decision making. I don't know why I do it, but I think a part of it is, like I said, just subconsciously wanting to answer to other people. Like, that's what I really want to work on this week in particular. Just doing what makes me happy, like wholeheartedly, like truly just taking care of my own needs, besides my family, of course, but like really just curating my lifestyle, my schedule to myself, because sometimes I think I just try to overextend myself and make myself available for others. And then, like I said, when it's time for me to make my own decision making, I struggle, because I'm just like, I'm so used to like going off of what the group goes with, that when it's time for me to be solo, I started like thinking that, well, what do I like? Do I like this for real, or was I only liking it because I was with the people I was doing it with, you know? So it's just shit like that, you feel me? But that's what, like I said, that's why I still keep my Disney pass, my Universal pass, my movie pass, because I'm like, I generally do like doing those things, you know what I'm saying? So, and I get to do those things solo, and I really do enjoy it solo, you feel me? So I'm gonna keep doing the things that I enjoy, you know? But I was like, okay, well, shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I was in that stage, I didn't act, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much was like stuck in like a limbo. So once I started acting on it, I realized, okay, the original time that I had set to go see the movie was going to be too soon for me to get there on time and get the food. So I was like, let me just pick my original theater. So I went to pick up my food. My order was a catfish special. Substitute the mac and cheese, the mashed potatoes for white rice, and I substituted the vegetables for extra mac and cheese. Really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10. drove that shit with me, take it to the movie theaters. It was just awkward because I'm like, that thing smelled good. So when I took that thing out of the movies, it was busting. So after that, I basically headed to, you know what I'm saying, what'd you call it? I basically led to South Bay for the movie, and then I made it on time, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, I'm ready to watch this movie Disclosure for the next 2 hours. And, 2 hours it was indeed, but I overall enjoyed the movie. I had some things to say that I would have preferred, but overall enjoyable time. After which, I landscaped, and then I headed home, and I rested. And then after that, I got home and took a nap for a while, and then I woke up later because, I was just on my phone, and then I just took another nap, and then I woke up to go get some Canes, and then watch some American Dad to fall asleep. So that was my Friday. I need to start writing more cohesively because I couldn't read and not understand some of the sentences that I was trying to get at. But you know what I'm saying? And this is what it is. On Saturday though, I woke up and I went to go do 8 miles, just up the street. I could have went to go to Run Club, but I woke up late, and because of that, I'm like, hey, still gotta get this money, still gotta get this workout in. So you know what I'm saying? As usual, I just did a modified workout of what I would have did, which was like, instead of me going to the beach to run, I just ran around my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I just be so confused with how my things be getting so tangled. Like, is this how? How could you have gotten tangled up behind there to the point where, okay, you're not tangled, you just, okay, cool. Because I got scared. I was like, bro, I don't have time for my podcast to be affected. If it gets affected, if it comes down to it, I'm just going to upload the audio version. I don't have no time to have the video version causing me no trouble. You know what I'm saying? But nah. I woke up late for the night before, you know what I'm saying, because I was up late, but I know I wanted to do a workout. So after I get some proper rest, I woke up and I started to work on my TikTok, which is a movie review for the movie Disclosure Day. Then I got my run pad plan. The plan was just going to do a 6-mile run, 3 miles out, 3 miles back. But after I got to mile 3, my body just said, you know what, dudes, add an extra mile. Let's just up it to 8 miles, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where this leg pain started. Not I think. I'm talking about I think like I don't vividly remember the next day being in pain. I know for a fact this 8 miles is what did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like looking back and like how my week went, that was for sure where the pain kind of like was introduced, because like I said, I did 3 miles, cool. You know what I'm saying? Basically from where I was to Crenshaw. Then once I got there, I was like, you know what? Let's keep going. Like I said, so as I kept going, I basically made it to the Intuit Dome. You know what I'm saying? Took a nice photo op over there. That was really dope. Like I definitely don't regret going that far, but physically it just, it hurt a lot. You know what I'm saying? I just put it like that because after I did that, I just ran back home. So I got to the 4 miles. I ran back home and I rested. But then I was like, this is the perfect time to go get my bike fixed. You know what I'm saying? So I got my bike fixed, and then I did a order pickup for some. So, because like I said, I went to the Lenar's bike shop, and my Lenar's bike shop happens to be close by to a Chick-fil-A. So I did an order pickup for some Chick-fil-A. That's the reason why I haven't got Chick-fil-A recently, because I'm like, I got some Chick-fil-A already this week. But it was Saturday, so technically I could get it this week. But the issue was, the boy was off the Terramana, and you know what I'm saying? And as expected, it hit me hard as fuck, so then I took a nap. So after my nap, I landscaped, and then I was just eating my leftover Chick-fil-A, and then I was just on the phone watching reels and chilling before falling asleep. Only to be woken up to have to move some cars because my dad showed up back home. So, as I'm saying, kind of like on some, just, how do I say it? Just feeling bad for myself type shit. It's like I've just been just taking little shots here and there, you know what I'm saying? But not driving, just been at home, you know what I'm saying? Just on some like chill shit. But then every time I do it, it just tells me like, I don't know. Every time I drink, I just be feeling like there's no point in me doing it, you know what I'm saying? And like low-key this week was like really a culmination of that, because every time I did try to be on some chill shit, it's like, okay, let me just take some liquor, let me just unwind. Each one of those moments was just like a moment of laziness, or I feel like a moment of unproductivity that I don't appreciate for myself. Like, I just expect better from me. So when I don't do better, it's just a disappointment, you know what I'm saying? So overall, like I said, you know, with the DUI situation, like, I feel like that's just been like the waving over my head about just like, you need to get this aspect of your life in control, or like just figure out what you're gonna do about it. Because honestly speaking, I don't feel like I really need it. I think it's just a nice addition to my enjoyment level. But I'm like, I feel like I just gotta really learn my tolerance level for real, and just stick to that, and like not trying to go any further, not trying to go anymore, you know. But now Sunday, I basically hit up Tiani, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shadi Tiani, shout out to her. Woke up and then was like, let's go do a hike, you know, because we was originally gonna go to the beach and like do a sunrise walk. And it's so funny because, you know, I don't shout out to her. So if she hears this, it's not a diss to you, Tiani. It's just the truth. It's funny because I'm like, we've been trying to do a beach walk for the longest, but anytime she comes out here, she always has stuff to do. So like, waking up early just isn't in the cards, you know. And like I said, me being me, I don't want her to overdo herself and overextend herself. So like, and that's why it's so funny, because I'm like, when I say I want to do something early with somebody, and for example, right, I'm like, oh, like, hey, tomorrow we need to go to the gym at 5 a.m., right? And if we don't go to the gym, it's never because of me. You know what I'm saying? And it's never because we can't do it. It's because I decided that I wasn't going to be too pressing to make it happen. Because one thing about me, if I have a timeline or a deadline, you know, the irony in saying that, you know what I'm saying, while I'm making the podcast on Saturday, I could generally stick to it. Like, I could generally be really on point, on par, and on time with all my shit. It's just, I think once other factors, once the nuance gets settled in, once the other factors are brought into consideration, that's what affects it. So with her in particular, like I said, if the goal is to wake up on time to go to the beach, to go do a workout, I know that we got to be asleep the night before at a certain time, and then up the day after at a certain time. But like I said, I don't feel like it's really right for me to like put that pressure on her, knowing, like I said, that she's on a vacation, to be like, hey, make sure you get to bed on time. And then next day, hey, are you awake? Because it might fuck around and fuck up the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, her energy level being down might cause her irritation level to be up, and then the overall enjoyment of the event might not be what it is. And of course, as you guys can see up there, I'm very proud to say that we have put the degree. I'm a degree holder, and as you guys can see, like I envisioned, it's perfectly positioned to be perfectly represented in every episode from henceforth. So this is the first episode where you guys are seeing it on display, but if you guys would like to see it up close and in person, check out episode 49. So then after we decided that, hey, we're going to just go to do I told her that we should do something else then, that, hey, you know, it's Sunday, I usually don't have this Sunday off, you know what I'm saying, but why don't we go to Griffith Park to do a hike, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Tiani being the amazing person she is, she was like, hell yeah. But the secret word of today's episode is Stretto. She had let me know from the start that, like, hey, if we are going to get any smoothies, we can't go to no donut shop. So I thought that was funny because she really pays attention. Like, that's one thing I could say that, because me loving something about her doesn't necessarily mean that I am in love with her. But I'm not saying that I'm not in love with her. But I'm not saying that I am in love with her. But all I'm saying is that I love the fact that she pays so much attention, because she really knows that, like, when it comes to me and me and my nigga Donovan, my twin, shout out to my twin Donovan, that our normal routine when we go get to this hike in Griffith Park, we just go do the hike and then we go get some donut shop, you know, goodies. But this time around, you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know how she just knew to just, you know, offer this, but she was like, why don't we go to the observatory? And for some reason, I don't know why I never thought to just do that. You know what I'm saying? Me and my twin, we always talk about we're gonna eventually take that path. We're gonna eventually go over there, but you know, I never just decided to just go and do it. And that's why I think where my motivation of just do it, man. If you got the chance, you got the opportunity to do it,
do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, on me. Like, if there's nothing of more importance that you're putting off for the task, why not? You know what I mean? And like I said, there was nothing important to put up for the task besides this time. Just like, why not we just take advantage of the time we have with ourselves? So we literally went up there. It was like probably like a half a mile walk up there, and I literally went to the observatory. And as a GTA player, bro, that shit hit different. I'll tell you what, that shit do hit different. Like, seeing it in person, like, was really dope. Like, now I need to go inside of it. Pause. Like, so I still gotta go to the Griffith Observatory. I gotta do that. No, technically I've already just did that. So I need to go inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And then I gotta run back the Getty Center, if anything, because that's, you know what I'm saying, that's why I might, because I put a Disney day for this upcoming Tuesday, but anytime I put a Disney day, I always put myself into this limbo, because I'm like, you don't just have to go to Disney, you know what I'm saying, like, there's other things you could do where you could landscape and like turn up and stuff. So I'm glad I'm mentioning it, because I'm like, I do need to revisit the Getty, so I might, instead of going to Disney, go to the Getty, you feel me, and shit. Yeah, I might do that. And then just, like I said, just try to, because I'm just try to explore LA a little more. There's other plots and there's other stuff that I could do. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's an invincible. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm talking about stuff like that, that's from Friday onwards. So I'm not gonna talk about that. But just in general, basically what I'm saying is, I need to get out of my comfort zone and like really not just keep going to the same places, because that's really what it is too. It's like, I'm like if it's not broken, don't fix it. Hey, I go to these places, like, that's really how I am. Generally speaking, like, for example, like I said with Disney, I have a good time every time I go, so I don't see why I wouldn't go, you know what I'm saying, when I got some free time. Like, that's really my mindset with it, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, just because you have free time, that's not the only place you gotta go, because like me personally, I've been trying to plan to go to Disney after work. Like, I want to try to go like how I went when I was younger and shit, But like I said, Disney's just an example of just a place that I frequent, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I could easily insert that with Universal. I could easily insert that with the movies, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just started going to Billiards, and I would love to go there more often. It's just, after that last time I went there with the parking situation, I think to myself now, I'm like, okay, I gotta go there more towards the weekend, or I'll figure out what day I went that day where the parking was free, because I'm not trying to pay for parking. I don't like paying for parking. And that's the main reason why I'm like, yeah, Disney is like, it'd be a lot, because I know I gotta pay $30 just to park there. But yeah, after we got up to Griffith Park, you know what I'm saying, we did the 2-mile hike to the observatory and then around the area. Then after that, she got some fruit. You guys know me, I don't eat fruit. But then, like I said, Tiani, she know how to explore, so shout out to her. She was like, let's go to this place called Lake Hollywood, So we went to this place called Lake Hollywood Park. There was not much of a lake, but it was like a nice shot where you could see the Hollywood sign. So then, after I dropped her off, because after that, she gotta go back her day, you feel me? As much as I would love to hang out with her all day, I can't. I don't have access to her that much, so, I gotta share her with everybody else, I gotta share her with her family, you feel me? So, after I dropped her off, it was still Sunday, so you guys know, Sunday is reset day. I came back home, immediately got straight to cleaning up my bathroom, and did my laundry, and then I did uploaded my videos on my YouTube, and I made a TikTok. But as I was doing all this, I never ate. The original plan was to drop her off, clean my bathroom, and then go to the Court Cafe. The problem was, when I started cleaning my bathroom, I started taking some liquor. I started streaking, because I was like, I was just in that mode of just being in the mode of just enjoyment. I was like, Sunday, we can fucking relax, man. I'm about to drink and then get this freaking bathroom clean. And I ain't gonna lie, it helped because the music and everything, the vibe was just there. The issue was, I think I overdid it. Like, I think once I finished the bathroom, I kept drinking, so like I kind of blacked out. I ain't gonna lie. So once I did that, I just remember waking up and like, thankful to me, the only thing I did was I got into an argument with the homie in the group chat and shit. But other than that, I didn't do no Blake shit. I didn't do nothing head ass. I didn't do nothing corny or nothing embarrassing. So that was really the best part about the whole situation. Was like, okay, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't do nothing crazy. But I just felt bad. Shout out to my K5. that he said something in the chat, and I think my drunkenness just got triggered, and then I went off on him. And I don't regret what I said. I just regret saying it because I already know myself when I'm lit, or just in general when it comes to this liquor. Most of the time you're saying what you really feel. It's just me personally. I feel like I've mastered the art of, you don't need to always say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you know the right thing, or just so you feel the right way, you don't gotta always express that. And that's where I feel like it's been my biggest form of growth. I kept feeling the need, like that was my ego. I kept feeling the need to tell people how to live. I kept feeling the need to tell people like how I feel about certain things. When it's like in reality, I could think that way, I could feel that way, and I could probably even believe that way. But I don't need to express it. I don't need to let the person know. I can just let them do their thing, and if they want to improve, they can improve. If not, it's not. And the one thing that I forgot to do this episode was do the incense. So let's do that. I forgot about it, dog. But it's crazy because I'm stuck to this chair right now, so I'm gonna see how even be able to do it. But nah, last week I'm pretty sure we did Sex on the Beach, but I'm gonna do Sex on the Beach again because it's my favorite, and I'm already almost running out. You know what? We're gonna run out. If we're gonna run out, we might as well run out. So today's episode is sponsored by Bob Marley. But yeah, so part of me is on some shit like, okay, like I don't need to say everything, but I guess in that moment the liquor must have won because I was going back and forth with him, and I was basically kind of like, because the issue where I have with K5, and like I said, if he hears this, it is what it is. It's not that I really have an issue. I think it's more so like it's like a mirror reflection where he is right now, and like I said, he's not gonna ever agree with this, but I think mentally I was there where it was like I have all the, and like I said, I'm speaking for me, and maybe that's why I think I felt that, and I'm probably wrong because I think they were two different people. But I feel like where he's at is where I was at, as far as I used to talk a big game, but my work didn't matter or didn't match it. And like I said, I'm not gonna speak on anything else in K5's life, you know what I'm saying, to like go into the detail, but just working out, you know what I'm saying, and just being like, I guess, fit. Because like I said, I know how the homies are when it comes to talk about anything. When it comes to K-Side, bro, you get no bitches. You guys are right. I get no bitches. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like with these niggas, that be all it takes sometimes. But as far as one aspect that I feel like respectfully I can really talk my shit on is, like I said, just working out. And my nigga K5, I remember when I first started working out with him, I think he told me or mentioned something about wanting to lose weight or pretty much, you know what I'm saying, just trying to slim up. Whatever it was, I was just like, hey, I can give you the real like deal strategy to like reach your goal. Cut back on what you eat, do a whole bunch of cardio, do a whole bunch of core workouts. Nigga, I can even give you the specific workout that you could do. Do this shit for 30 days straight, nigga, and you will have a six-pack. Guaranteed. And I told him that. And I remember the first time we talked about it, it seemed like he was really resonating. It seemed like what we were talking about, he was really like absorbing it. But then I learned quickly after that, I was like, oh, nah, he's kind of like my little brother. Like, he talks and he like responds like somebody that's listening to you and everything, but still at the end of the day, he's still going to go do his own thing. So I noticed that quickly. I learned that very, very early on with him. I said, yeah, I told this guy, I remember one time, like I said, we was talking about fasting. As a Muslim, you know, I know like fasting like the back of my hand, you know what I'm saying? So when he said it, I said, bro, even better. I said, look, don't even do the Muslim fast. I told him straight up, I said, don't do the Muslim fast. Just do a water fast. And I said the water fast because I feel like most people are water fasting in general anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you just go out throughout your day and you're not eating and you just remember, oh, let me eat, you know what I'm saying? That's basically like a water fast. Because most of the time you're still drinking water. Most of the time you're still taking liquid by the mouth. But I said that because I feel like that's more manageable. And that would be a quick way to just see, like, can you handle that? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool, take the food away, but just leave the water. Most people could probably handle that, but he never followed up with me about it. But then I remember one time, like I said, just being around him, he brought it up again. And I was like, bro, I literally told you what to do, but you're not. So with him, I kind of learned in real time that, like, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink. But just because the horse is not drinking, that doesn't mean you need to start getting upset or be bothered by it. But like I said, I guess subconsciously I was, because when the conversation came out, I'm telling them, I'm like, bro, like, nigga, what are you talking about, bro? Like, you talking all this shit, but I'm like, nigga, you ain't been proven that you could do this, so I don't want to hear none of this. And that'd be what it'd be for me. It's like, don't tell me I'm finna make $1 million when it was time to make $100. You were lazy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the same thing with Malik, and I love my little brother. Little bro came to me, and I think I can speak on this. I might not speak on the next episode. But little bro came to me and was like, man, big bro, I want to go to Orlando for school. You want to go to Orlando, Florida, for school? For what? Man, you know, it's just opportunities. It's going to be a chance for me to, like, really make a name for myself. Hold on. This is kind of like with the streamer university epidemic right now. What is up with this idea of I could make a name for myself if I go here? I could do this if I have this. Make it happen right now. Have I not been showing you? That's what I'm saying. Like, it hurt because it's like, it shows that I'm like, yeah, you know, you are the youngest, and like how I already kind of knew with my little brother. I'm like, you talk a lot of good, but you don't really resonate and like really take it in. You know what I'm saying? Because, and like I said, I don't know how to take it deep. Just as far as just maintaining my room, I told this little bro, don't come in my place, don't come in my room without permission. Don't do this without my permission. If you want to do it, ask me, because at least if you ask me, I'm more inclined to say yes. This little nigga still do it every time. Still do it without permission. Still come in my room. Still use my items. Still do stuff that I'm like, just on the basic level of just, you know, just following direction. You can't even follow it. You know what I'm saying? And this is with you in the house. So now let's take it as far as school. I know for a fact, because I know with me, I didn't take school that seriously. So my fact or my goal when Malik got to college was like emphasizing that, hey, even if you don't necessarily take it seriously, just think of your future. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I know right now, in this day and age, opportunity just seems so rampant that it's like, why lock into something like school? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do this? Like, why do this boring ass shit? But looking back, like I said, one thing especially for me is knowing that I'm an intellectual, knowing that I have determination, knowing that I'm like, have the ability to pass a class. Nigga, I would have went so hard in school so early on, so quickly, and just got it out the fucking way. That's why I was trying to let him know, like, hey, why are you here under your parents' house, not having to pay no rent, not having to pay no real bills? You got a nice school that's up the street. Dominguez is close to the community. Get the education. Get what you need to get from there, so that way you can do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, like I said, that's why I'm trying to get back to that mindset, because I remember I kept telling myself, all you gotta do is graduate, then you have your freedom, then you can do what you want. That's why I'm like, you know what? Yeah, but the issue now I have, like I've been telling you guys, is just I don't got my license and nothing. So like, till I get that situation handled, I ain't gonna lie, I probably can't enjoy my enjoyment like I want to. But just know it's there, you know. So that's why I'm doing my enjoyment in the way that I can handle. But that's what I'm trying to let him know, like, bro, you don't trick yourself out of a good position that you're in. Don't trick yourself and don't convince yourself that you need to go to Miami, go to Orlando for what? Florida for what, bro? You don't know nobody there. Nobody's made to protect you. Nobody's gonna be to. And then, like I said, had my little bro showed me that, hey, when niggas is not watching, you still gonna behave the way you need to behave, I wouldn't have no issue. I love Malik, but I know that boy, man. That's what I'm saying. Dominguez was a taste of freedom. He took advantage of it. And he hasn't been, you know what I'm saying, handling it the right way. But I give him grace because I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying. You got a good example as me, and then it's still your first year, so it's like, if there's any time for you to make mistakes and learn, you know what I'm saying, learn how to really navigate through it, right now is the best time. So do that. Take your time, no pressure, no rush. But don't barely have your, you know what I'm saying, you swimming in the shallow water, now you want to go to the ocean. Relax. You barely learn how to swim. So I just thought that was really interesting. So I think just like that mindset, and then like I said, K5, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, shout out to my nigga, he be talking like he older than me, and I'll just be like, bro, you're not even older than me, nigga. So it's like, just experience wise, I'm more wiser than you. Humble yourself. So I think that just all just culminated that night, and I just felt so bad because I'm like, fuck, man. I'm usually more able to keep myself in cool and check and like, you know, control my words and like how I behave. But I ain't gonna lie, that night, that bathroom, I was feeling myself. I cleaned everything, and I was just on one. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I just woke up and then I started, and now too, that's what I started getting back to. I started playing bowling on my Switch again because I'm like, I need to get back good at this shit. And it's so weird, bro. It's so weird because some matches I could strike them all, but there's some matches I miss like a mug. So learning how to do that. But pretty much, you know, I'm just happy to get back to playing my Switch. You feel me? Because there was a time and place where I was thinking to myself, I don't appreciate this shit enough. Like, what am I doing with this? You know. But overall, and then that was the thing. Because I was so late, I was so activated,
I never ate. I never like made sure to get something to eat and something. So because I came home and like I said, the plan was to go get some, Court Cafe. Once I got the liquor in my system, driving was out of the picture. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I forced myself to be at home and was stuck at home. But because I never followed up on it and never actually did anything about it, it fucked me up because I went through the whole day and I never ate, never did anything that I was supposed to do as far as like nutritional value. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much that was so funny because like I said, Ramadan fasting is not nothing new, but to really go for no reason really and to not drink, man, that shit was so funny. I mean, to not eat was so funny, bro. Serving size 1.5 ounces amount per serving. So yeah, that's so crazy. And then yeah, today I have a lot of warnings with this shit though, so I give it back. But yeah, overall, that's how my Sunday went. I just thought that was so funny because it's like, look at your boy. Look at your boy out here, not eating, not making sure he's nutritionalized and stuff. But yeah, so that's my Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tiani. Give me a second, guys. Taking a shot. I can't lie. I'm a little depressed, y'all. Yeah. Because I'm getting a little bit too alcoholic level. Because it'd be like just regular moments. I'm like, you know what? Why not just take a swig? You feel me? But in a way, like knowing what I know about substance and use and substance abuse, I know I'm just trying not to think about stuff. I'm trying to just numb myself and shit. And like I said, until I get the results, I'm probably gonna be like that for a little while. So I will though, for a fact though. I know I'm gonna be in the right mindset for episode 52 because that's a year episode. So I can't give you guys no BS like that. I can't give you guys a depressed episode. That's not like me. But on Monday, it's, let me see, because I'm like, oh, I was like, why did I put first day? So Monday was my first day of the new position at the new job, and since working there, it's going to be kind of like similar to when I was working at Saxall Fifth, whereas I'm not going to tell you guys any details or any going-ons of what goes on in actual work, but I would just let you guys know that I went to work and that it went good, went bad, just general things about that. But I won't give you guys no details about it because legally I am not able to speak on what I do for work. You feel me? I work for the government. But no, it was supposed to be my first day, on Monday. It was my first day, but I was supposed to basically go to the gym and stuff, but as I was telling you guys with the line that I had on Sunday, waking up at 4 a.m. was out of the picture. And I just so happened to be opening the first 2 days of my my work schedule. So I was doing a 9:30 to 6. So the original plan was to wake up at 4 a.m., do my gym, then come home, then get ready to go to work, make it, do all that stuff. The issue was when 4 a.m. came, the gym wasn't even in the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't possible. But and you know what it really was? Cause I'm even being a little bit, I'm not even really telling y'all the truth. Remember I was telling you guys on Saturday, I ran 8 miles. I don't know, maybe because I did the hike on Sunday too, that added to the pain, but on Monday, it's supposed to be leg day, and usually I don't miss my leg days on Monday. It don't matter what I'm going through. But the pain in my right knee was just so bad that I was scared to really hit the gym for real. So I didn't. Ultimately, I didn't. So, whew. So disappointed. So what I just did just now, I was so nervous for the first day of work because, like I said, just I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm sitting here and like acting like I can't talk to y'all for real. The shit was just over my head so bad that I was worried that they might ask for my driver's license, and me not having it, I was just scared that I would like fuck shit up. So I ain't gonna lie. What I just did, I kind of like did it to like calm my nerves and shit. But literally, once I got there, I realized I had no reason to be nervous. Like, I literally had the best first day ever. Best introduction to the team. If anything, it's kind of like a full circle moment, because I remember the first day, or the day that I first went there to interview, one of the security guards had helped me basically find my car and stuff. And I remember she was like, you know, like, have a good day, like, I know I'm gonna see you soon. And I remember I was like, you know, that's so crazy that she said that, because when she said that, I told myself, I said, man, it'll be so crazy she said that, and I really do see her again. And then, like, literally once I got the job, I was like, man, God is so good. That's what I'm saying, bro. That freaking situation literally happened in the middle of me receiving my blessing. So it's like, the high that I should have been on from the blessing, God, I keep getting sober, pretty much, you know? Because overall, like I said, I get to work, did my thing, I had lunch, you know what I'm saying? My mom had made some ayamase, shout out to Noah because she made it for him, and then shout out to my mom for making it. Had lunch, had some ayamase, some stew, everything was good. Get to work, I got lost in the parking lot again, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no issue. And then, like I said, it was just really a training day, so it was really just, you know, nothing crazy. And then they showed me how to open, you know, and stuff. And then, you know, after the shift, and I think that's the funniest part, was like, once I clocked out though, I had gotten lost on the way home because, you know, one thing, well, because like I said, I'm not gonna tell you guys where I work. I'm not going to tell you guys the area, but if you guys are able to figure it out and be able to do it off of the context clues, it is what it is. But overall, the area that I'm in is a lot of, if I say that, it's going to literally really give it away. But there's a lot of, you know, streets that aren't easy to travel through. So because of that, I was like, you know, hey, you know, well, not hey, but you know, I basically, you know, it took a longer time for me to get home. But after that, I ain't gonna lie, I just literally went home, you know, this landscape, and I just headed to the home, and I just, you know, played some Fortnite, you feel me? And then on Tuesday, so that's my Monday. So Monday, first day, 10 out of 10 day, 10 out of 10 experience, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, 11 out of 10 if I'm being for real. But on Tuesday, kind of the same thing. I opened, so I was supposed to go to the gym. That's what I'm saying, like, bro, I gotta use the restroom, y'all. This is so crazy. I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys. As you guys know, your boy is freaking healthy. And with being healthy, that means when I eat, that fucking shit goes through my system. Fuck, man. But, yes. So, now. I think the last thing I finished off was Monday. Yeah. So, Tuesday, kind of similar, same thing. Too tired to go to the gym, so I was like, I'm gonna just do the run later. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna still work out today, so it's not that big a deal. So I was basically, by the time I basically came up with that mindset, it was like 7 something, and like I like to leave an hour before work, so I was like, dang, it's 7 something, I'm almost 8, and at 8:30 I gotta leave. Boy, I don't got much time to do anything of anything. So pretty much I just started getting ready for work. Got ready for the run later in the day, but I had forgot my workout glasses. So I pretty much get to work, you know what I'm saying, get there, do my thing, you know what I'm saying, met a manager that day, so everything was going cool. But when I got off work, I realized that I was going to change, but then I realized I left my glasses, so I was like, you know what, the house is on the way to the workout area, or so I thought. So I'm going to just go to the house, change, and then go to the workout area. But once I put the GPS in, I realized that me leaving from work to the workout area was actually closer than me having to go home and then go back out. But it's like the same distance, you know what I'm saying? But overall, it let me know that, like, yeah, if I don't want to do these runs after work, I am going to have to... I'm sorry, guys. My breathing... I am going to have to make sure that I have everything ready and on point, so that way I can leave from work to the area instead of having to go back home and do all that stuff. Either way, like I said, me going home didn't really affect anything because it actually was like kind of like the similar drive, you know. I actually still made it there early, you know what I'm saying, to be honest. So when I got home, I changed and I headed out. I made it on time. After the drive, I thought my leg would hurt. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So basically when I got there, my leg was still in pain from, you know, the weekend. So I'm like, fuck. I haven't fully really healed. And I know on Tuesday they do 2 to 6 miles. I'm going to just do 3 miles. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just keep it small. But then I thought to myself, you know, Malik he sent like this. So this is a guy that be landscaping low-key before all of his workouts and stuff. And I remember one time me and Donovan... This is when I first started running, though. That's when I'm looking back at it. I'm like, that's probably really what it is. But looking back at it, I remember, essentially, your boy was running with the homie, or was about to run, and we kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Man, that's what I'm saying. Looking back, and when I first started to run, to look at me now, it's so scary. Because I'm really like I have a professional mindset. I want to say I'm a professional runner. I'm not a pro by any means necessary, by any fathom of the word, but I am a professional in just how I handle myself. But like I said, just looking back, I remember like me and him, we landscaped before the run, and that was like the worst decision ever because we happened to be running up Beverly Hills, and when we ran up all the way to basically the top of like West Hollywood, and when I say I threw up, I didn't throw up anything though. Like I didn't have anything to really throw up, but like I threw up from like this the heart, like. The workout overall did everything to me. So at the moment, I just assumed naturally. I was like, oh, okay, like it was the landscape, like for sure. Like now I know, like when I run, I said no landscape before run, but I was still landscaping before my bike ride. So when I thought of that contradiction, I was like, you know, if I could still landscape before a bike ride, I could probably still landscape before a run. I just probably have to take into account that I landscaped and then like combat that with my breathing technique, you know. So I kind of just told myself that, and I was like, hopefully, the landscape will just, you know, hopefully numb the pain in my leg. That's really what I wanted. I was like, I don't care if I run slow. I just don't want to be running in pain. You feel me? So I landscaped, and then, you know what I'm saying? I ran, and it's so crazy because, honestly speaking, the only thing I could say that it did was that it made it more enjoyable as far as the vibe. Like, I was way more lit. I was way more, like, I was up. You know what I'm saying? I was activated. But as far as, like, did it combat any pain? Did it make the run easier? I can't really give a description or I can't really give an answer on that. But I just know that, well, I guess if I was to say, would I have been able to run without it? Yeah. But probably just not as confidently, because I feel like it gave me a false sense of confidence of like, okay, well, now that I did this, I know for a fact I'm not going to feel no pain. But nah, I still was in pain. It was just one of those things where I'm like, it probably just subdued it or made me not feel it anymore. You know? But like I said, it's not nothing that I feel like, okay, now every time I work out, I'm a landscape before my runs now. Like, nah, it didn't fully convince me that, like, me landscaping for a run will make me run better or faster. You know what I'm saying? Because I still ran, like, the similar pace and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So, after I really, you know what I'm saying, finished the run, I landscaped again, and I headed to La Esquina for some carne asada fries. I picked up my order, and then I headed home, showered, and then ate myself to sleep. You feel me? 10 out of 10 day, you know? So then on Wednesday, that was Tuesday, you feel me? Happy blessed and off day Wednesday. I was actually off this Wednesday. I'm not usually off on Wednesdays. Like when I used to work, I was always working on a Wednesday. So me being off on a Wednesday was pretty awkward for me. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I didn't get on my plan or my program as quickly as I could have. But you know what I'm saying? I still did my morning routine. Made my TikTok, and then I got dressed, and then I headed to the gym. Had a 53-minute workout. And I want to say I was having a good workout. It's just, I don't know what it was. I seen somebody in the gym that just made me, I guess, get distracted. And then overall, like, I lost the steam. I'll say it like that. I lost I lost the energy or the enthusiasm to continue my workout. Like, usually when I work out, I'm very hype. I'm lit. I'm turned. I'm in there having a fun. But like, as soon as I got to 53 minutes, I was like, I'm low-key over it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to like sugarcoat or try to make it sound better, sound cooler. I was just like, I'm low-key over this workout, man. I'm just head on. You know what I'm saying? So literally, once I finished that, Tevin right now. So shout out to Tevin's Kitchen again. They have redid the collaboration with Stormburger. So I went to the Stormburger. I got the Tev's burger and I got a chicken sandwich. You know what I'm saying? I always get a meal for now and a meal for later. I head home. And I was trying to finish, or I was going to, you know what I'm saying, the goal was just to finish the food. But honestly speaking, that food was hitting too good because it put me in a food coma, and I basically was trying to fight that food coma all day, you know what I'm saying? So once I basically got off of, you know what I'm saying, the food coma, and I basically was like, once I fought back and I won, I pretty much woke up, and then I just decided, like, okay, cool, like, it's time to play. I'll be honest. Malik hit me up, or he came to my room and was like, you trying to get some GTA playing? And I was like, let's do that. So I just played like 2 hours of GTA, you know what I'm saying? So 48 minutes was 48 minutes, plus another 48 minutes and another 48 minutes. So like 3 hours of GTA. And then I played some, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, did some Terramana, and then I played some Nintendo Switch sports before calling it a night. So that was my Wednesday. Wednesday was simple, literally was off. Went to the gym, did my workout, got some Stormburger, and then I was just playing the game for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I can't complain. And honestly speaking, that's why it'd be so hard for me to go out, because off days like those are so enjoyable. Me just being at home, not spending no money, besides spending money on the food. That is like, I'd be like, dang, you know, like still experience life. You feel me? Like that's why I force myself out. It's not that I want to go out, or not that I can't go out, but I don't want to just be accustomed to only enjoy myself at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get myself to enjoy myself outdoors too. You feel me? Oh man, I'm so glad I kept it like that. That made it so easy to handle. But then on Thursday, honestly speaking, I think I am going to end it right here. Because like I said, I do got work later. So I'm going to end it right here. Then we'll come back later on and finish the episode. So the last thing we ended up off was Thursday. And then we just got to discuss Disclosure Day. And then some things from Instagram and Twitter. But the reason that's why I'm like, I'm enjoying this episode too much for me to like wrap it up and give you guys a quick episode like that. So we're just gonna come back, and then, but the good part is I'm already an hour 12 minutes in. There's not much left, so it's gonna probably be like another hour or so. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely do that after work. You feel me? So because right now I'm about to take a nap before work, because it's not that I can't close, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it'd be. I don't know if y'all ever had this. If you some of my people that have a job, for some reason, it be feeling like staying awake for a night shift is like way harder than staying awake for a morning shift. So I'm about to take a nap so that way I can have more energy by the time I get off to work. But literally, there's no cap in my rap. I'm literally already dressed, already ready. You know what I'm saying? As far as lunch goes, my mom made some fish stew. If you know anything about me, I don't really eat fish unless it's fried, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's your girl's fish. But nah, just kidding. Like I said, we're going to get back later, so it's not an end of the episode. This is a be right back. You feel me? Alright, peace. Alright, picking up from where we left off, we were starting to talk about my daily recap for Thursday. So on Thursday, it was supposed to be the podcast day, but to continue the string of not waking up early, I didn't wake up early. So I already knew I was on BS for the podcast because I didn't prepare the night before. So usually on Wednesdays, I get the topics list and everything prepared so that way on Thursday, I could just wake up and record. But I know I was bullshitting because I didn't even do that part. So I know I wasn't ready. So instead of me doing it, I saw a letter from the DMV. So I was like kind of like just on edge because I was wondering if that was like the results to let me know that I was good or not. So I didn't like kind of like, you know, I just basically was just in limbo, you know what I'm saying? So I was just chilling, and then when they finally got here, I basically wasted hours that I could have been doing stuff. I was just basically just on my bed, just kind of tossing and turning, waiting for the mailman. But it's like, knowing me and the way that I'm trying to be productive, I should have been trying to utilize that time to make a TikTok, just get the day started, or just at least freshen up, you know what I'm saying? But I was just laying in bed, I ain't gonna lie. So I started my day kind of late, you know what I'm saying? So I basically went back to sleep to try to like be super duper energized for work. So I woke up and then I did work. I did a 1:30 to 10. So had a great shift. It was very busy. For lunch, I got some Taco Bell. It was a bad choice, but it was worth it in the moment. After lunch, I just closed and made my TikTok for the day. So when I got off, I was going to record the podcast. That was the plan and stuff. But as soon as I got home, like I realized now after work, my brain is just tired. So like from the fatigue from the day and the fatigue from just what I do at work, a nigga just be just done for. So trying to record a 2-hour episode just wasn't, in the cards for me and stuff. So I ended up just going to bed and, basically wasn't as productive on that Thursday as I normally am. But, it's all good because as you guys can see, we're still making the episode 50. So as long as the episode gets done, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So I just came home, ate some rice and stew with some dodo, you know what I'm saying? Basically some fried plantain. Ate some donuts for dessert, and then I called it a night. You know what I'm saying? I told myself, I even wrote it in here. I said I was disappointed in my lack of urgency to record episode 50, but it's my life. I had to stand on my choices and stand by this one. So I don't know when I'm gonna record it, but I'm gonna record it this week. That's literally what I said. So as you can see, I followed it up, and that's what I'm doing right now. So now that we finished the weekly recap, I'm going to get into a movie review. So at first, I used to do movie reviews where I would go into the specifics and what happened in the movie, but I felt like now, you know what I'm saying, depending on the movie, I would just give a overall just, I guess, expose of what I just thought about the film. So the film we're going to be talking about today is Disclosure Day, and that was, let me look it up real quick on IMDb. You guys already know. If you guys wonder where I be getting these movie titles from and all that stuff, and like what these movies be about, I go to imdb.com, go there, and then I type in whatever movie. Today we're talking about Disclosure Day. So Disclosure Day. And just off the rip, right? So I guess I could talk about what I thought. Off the trailer, I thought it was going to be a super duper alien movie when the aliens come and like kind of destroy the earth or come and like basically fuck shit up. It was actually the opposite. So let me just read the title. So the name of the movie is called Disclosure Day, and it's about this is the bio. If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you? That is the question. And the director is Steven Spielberg. The writers are David Chase and Steven Spielberg, and the stars are Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, and Colin Firth. Those are the top 3 stars. So, like I said, based on the trailer, it throws you completely off. Like, for what you see in the actual movie and what it presents in the trailer, it's completely different because in the trailer, I think it's only I'm led to assume, at least based on my thing. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to go check on my fried plantain. So anytime I check on my fried plantain, I'm just mute the mic and I'm pause the audio. So from the trailer, I was under the impression that this movie was just all about Emily Blunt, that she had gotten some type of contact from the aliens and it's been affecting her day to day, and like because of that she has the ability to basically translate and like understand aliens and everybody else doesn't understand them, and like I thought she just had got powers and stuff. So that's just what I was just under the impression of. When you actually watch the movie, it's actually pretty deep in the sense of the goal of the movie per se, or the goal of the characters in the movie, is to expose the discovery or the knowledge of alien life forms interacting or having interactions with, you know, the Earth, because, you know, up until this point in the movie, you know, nobody believes aliens, or they don't believe aliens exist, or they haven't, you know, shared that with the, you know, regular people and stuff. So in the movie, it kind of begins with us kind of like seeing Josh O'Connor's character kind of running away, and already off the rip is already kind of whimsical. You know what I'm saying? He's in a situation where he's basically he's watching a wrestling match, and then they pull him to the side. They're like, "Oh, if you want her back, you gotta come with us and stuff." So he's like, "Is she okay? Is she okay?" And I remember them threatening her, saying that, "Oh yeah, she's gonna die if you don't come or whatever." So he goes with them and stuff. And immediately when he's cornered, he finds her and stuff like that. He kind of like puts on some glove, and then like this is our first showcase of the alien weapon. So that was probably the issue that I had with the movie. Overall, visually speaking, the movie was very appealing. It was very and enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like visually, it's probably one of the best movies that I've seen this year. You know what I'm saying? Like the camera angles, the cinematography was definitely on point. I don't know why my computer's so loud. But yeah, that was definitely on point. Pacing wise was definitely good. Give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta go check on my food. That's the problem with seeing food. Boy, your stomach starts like acting up. Like the conditioning starts, you know, doing its thing. But yeah, so pretty much, you know, visually speaking, the movie was good. It was just, I guess, the plot itself that it kind of like fell a little short in the sense of, you know, just what the overall, well, like I said, the overall goal was to beg the question whether or not they should release it. And that too. It was long. Pause. The movie was 2 hours long. In my opinion, it didn't need to be that long for, like I said, the plot and like for it to be expressed. It probably could have been done in like an hour 45 minutes, maybe hour 50. You know what I'm saying? Close to 2, but 2 plus, it was a little bit much for me. Like I said, the plot devices were a little bit, you know, inconsistent. You know, just to say the least, because it's like certain aspects of the movie, you know, certain things work, and then the other aspects of the movie is like, okay, now we could get away with this. Like the way that they made it seem that the, you know, utilization of the power was, they made it seem like it was something that would be very, you know, like I said, he put on a glove from the start, but, you know, in reality, he actually had more connections to it. And it seemed like one of those things where it's like, we don't know what it does, but it has the ability to do everything that the audience, or I mean the characters, need to progress the story. So, you know how movies are like that. So just, you know, cheap way to just kind of like just say it just makes sense, make it make sense. So, you know, once you look into the fact that it's Steven Spielberg, I feel like it makes more sense, and it kind of like grounds you a little bit for the expectations within this movie, because, you know, you kind of just, if you see E.T., you see any of his other alien films, it's right up that alley. You know what I'm saying? It kind of just matches that same vibe. But as far as everything else, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the score was really good. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the music of the movie. Sorry about it visually if it's tripping right now. The camera's bugging. Let me actually, I can still talk. Okay. But yeah, so like I said, visually was really good. Pacing wise was really good. The length of the movie, I felt like it was a bit long, so I felt like, of course, it could have been a little bit shorter. You know what I'm saying? But nothing, not the end of the world, of course, when it comes to that. Like I said, the score was really good. You know what I'm saying? As far as Steven Spielberg, I feel like he directed it very well. You know what I'm saying? It's right up. You know, it goes right in his wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a movie that's good in that aspect. And like I said, if as far as, you know, going to go see it, you know, if you're into alien movies that are really more so on the discussion side, because this movie wasn't really more so about the aliens, more so the discussion around aliens and whether or not us as a people, as, you know, Americans, and really, because, you know, they said everybody, but, you know, they always talk about America for real. Us as an American people, like, can we handle that? Because of the question of, you know, whether or not aliens being around, does it beg the question of the, I guess, the validity of whether or not God is real? You know what I'm saying? Because that was the question or the issue that they were having in the movie, was like, if we expose aliens, it's going to, you know, I guess, make it harder for people to believe in God. But I'm like, you know, me personally, I didn't think that, you know, I kind of seen that, but I was like, you know, I feel like someone that believes in God should also be able to understand that, like, God created the whole universe, so that would also obviously be part of his universe. But, you know, the way the movie kind of, like, goes or handles it, they just literally have one of the nuns, because I guess the main character's girlfriend, who used to be a nun or nun to be before she stopped, they just had one of her old nuns basically say that, like, you know, God, you know what I'm saying, like, made everything, so basically, like, aliens count and stuff like that. So that was kind of like their way of doing it. And it was just funny because it's just like, you know, I feel like what she was saying is what a nun would say. So it was just interesting to see how, like, in this movie, in this realm, the nuns are the ones with more, I guess, sense, you know, not to say sense, but are the more practical ones when it comes to the idea that aliens could be real. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, overall, I gave the movie a 3.5 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I got no real complaints, you know. But it was just more so like some of the stuff that they had, the just the alien abilities just didn't make the most sense. So I was a little lost. But, you know, as far as the movie itself, I could tell they weren't trying to do too much world building. You know what I'm saying? It was like what you see is what you get. And then, you know, but honestly speaking, the way that it ended, it was given that there might be a disclosure date too. But I just don't see the point of them making a part 2. And if they do, I don't see what, you know, the part 2 would entail for real, because it wouldn't really make no sense to me. So yeah. So I've seen Disclosure Day, and I've just been rewatching Jujutsu Kaisen, so that's just really been what I've been on, you know what I'm saying? And I've just been watching that, enjoying that show, you know what I'm saying? Trying to just watch it from the beginning so I can see, like, if there's anything that I might have missed, anything that happened in season 4 that I could kind of see being referenced in season 1. And I've been watching it in dub too, so it's kind of interesting too, hearing the English versions. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really fuck with the English version of Jujutsu Kaisen, but, you know, it's manageable, so it's working. So on Instagram, so that, like I said, that's movies and media. Now I'm about to go into some of the stuff that I seen on Insta. You feel me? That I thought it was interesting that I wanted to talk about. So let's go here, go to the podcast topics. Like I said, the episode about to wrap up now. I feel really proud of myself for even coming back to finish it. And overall, like I said, it just made me feel more and more easier, because I'm just like, I thought this was going to take a long time, but obviously not. And plus, you know, clearly I don't really have, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got straight to the point, you know what I'm saying? With more movies coming up this week, I'll be more in depth, because like I said, this week in particular, I'm gonna make sure I don't miss out on stuff. I don't know, why did I block her? That's funny. But now let's go to the saved. Go to podcast. So allegedly, Fox is announcing to buy Roku for $22 billion. So according to the Shade Room, Fox is set to acquire Roku in a $22 billion deal. The company's amount announced on Monday, but this was June 15th, so just realize that for that. The acquisition would significantly expand Fox's presence in the streaming industry by combining its news, sports, entertainment, programming, and free streaming service Tubi with Roku's devices and platform, which reach approximately 100 million users. I didn't know Tubi was under Fox. That's actually really interesting. which reaches approximately 100 million users. The company said the merger will create the third largest player in U.S. television based on viewing share, controlling more than 5% of the market, and the deal is expected to close during the first half of 2027 and is projected to generate about $400 million in savings. $400 million in savings for who? Fox and Roku, or for the watchers? Because unless we finna save money, I don't know. But that's interesting. You know, like I said, it's just in the realm of right now, it's just been a lot of mergers, companies buying other companies, you know what I'm saying? That's the issue that we have going on with the Warner Brothers and the Paramount Studios. Like, if Warner Brothers was to be bought, that was going to make a big issue because it would have been coming off like a monopoly. And what does a monopoly produce? I'm so glad you asked. A monopoly is essentially basically when a company has too much motion. That's the simplest way to put it. But in more proper terms, a monopoly is basically when a company has too much reach and too much access to the company, to the customers, in the sense that, for example, they have a product where they sell water. If that company is the only place where you get water from, and they could basically charge you whatever they want to charge you, they could charge you $1 for the water, or charge you $10 for the water, that's monopoly, because you should be able to have, like, realistically speaking, you should be able to have options, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't only be able to have one supplier and one source, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to have multiple suppliers and multiple sources, so that way people can have the choice of freedom to choose, you know? But there's no real choices and there's no freedom to choose. That's a bad thing and that's illegal, you know what I'm saying? According to America, you know what I'm saying? But just know, STAYDOWNLA, I'm taking over everything. So I'm about to buy Fox for $23 billion. But in actor news and, like, you know, movie news and possible people working together, according to Complex and Complex Pop, Seth Rogen has no plans of working with James Franco ever again. So if you guys don't know about the history behind this, allegedly James Franco had a string or had accusations of inappropriate behavior with female actress co-workers. So during the time, you know, everybody was canceling him. You know, Seth Rogen and him used to be really tight. They used to be really close. They made a lot of movies together. I don't really need to sit here and go into detail about all their movies, but if you want to see, you go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I think they had one movie where they pretend to go to North Korea. So, you know what I'm saying? And This Is the End. That's my favorite movie by that, you know, sub-genre, because ever since then, you could definitely say Seth Rogen's movies have made a pivot. You know, he used to be one whimsical. You know, Pineapple Express. Just go off of that. If you want to think of a movie where they're just really, it's really just James Franco and Seth Rogen just being themselves. That's really, you know, where you know them from. But when James Franco was being inappropriate, Seth Rogen had to do, you know, honestly, I mean, in reality, the right thing. Step back from him and not really be sided by him, because, you know, birds of a feather flock together, and if you kind of endorsing him, it will be kind of seen as he's endorsing James Franco's behavior, which I'm sure Seth Rogen at that time couldn't risk that. But I'm guessing because, you know, James Franco is kind of being, you know the cancel culture. They cancel you for a couple years depending on the person, you know what I'm saying, and depending on the case, the severity of the, you know, offense. I think you have like a 3 to 5 year, you know what I'm saying, cancellation. But if you're really good, like if you're a really good creator, and like I said, depending on the offense, you probably only be canceled for like a month. You know what I'm saying, in reality. But I think the issue is, like I tell you guys, niggas don't know how to shut up. When you get in, like for me, when I go viral and niggas want to try to cancel me, I'm not gonna talk. I'm just let them do what they gotta do, because the issue that people have is they say the wrong thing when they're trying to explain themselves. When you over explain, you come off looking guilty, and the internet already don't want to give you a chance. So why even try to, you know what I'm saying, submit to them? That's why for me, I feel like you just gotta stand on business on your own, whatever it is that you believe in, and like your past, your content, or your like your presence, whatever your presence are and how you present yourself, stand on that. So that way when people try to play with you, you just have a whole bunch of evidence showing that, like, nigga, I've always been like this, and that you know what I'm saying? It just, as long as you want on some weird shit, if you don't stand on business if it's weird shit. Stand on business if it's real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference, you know? But according to, I just say all that to say that, like, you know, I don't blame him for doing what he did, because sometimes you gotta just preserve yourself, you know? So, according to Complex Pop, Seth Rogen has no plans of working with James Franco ever again. Rogen opened up to the NYT about his relationship, so the New York Times, about his relationship with James Franco, noting that the issue is very personal and that he has no plans of working with him in the future. Seth Rogen says he hasn't spoke to James Franco in a long time and has no plans to work with him again. Nothing has changed since the last time I talked about all this. I haven't worked with him in a really long time, and I have no plans to. This is a quote from Seth Rogen. It is a very personal thing. And then that's it, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, if you want to read the rest of it, got to go to the New York Times, but, we're not doing all that. But in video game news, according to Tay Keith, EA will now put real ads inside its games. Brands can buy in-game advertising spaces designed to blend into game environment, which is interesting because I'm like, technically speaking, isn't that already the case? Like, don't they already show real advertisements in the game? I guess I'm tripping, but yeah, EA is now selling real-time ads, so real-time ad placements inside. Okay, that's interesting. So real-time ad, I can only assume that, let's say for example, I had a product, my clothing brand. So now the camera is tripping on its own. That's weird. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what happened, y'all, but the camera just acted up for the visual people. Like I said, on me. Don't worry, y'all. Episode 51 is gonna be all good. Yeah, I'm gonna just deactivate it for now because I'm not finna deal with that. But yeah, so I'm guessing, for example, we have like a real life, currently, FIFA going on. What's a good advertisement that probably on FIFA? Let's say, for example, the Minions Wendy meal. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Wendy's want to get on Madden. You know what I'm saying, for their current, I guess, advertiser or current, promotion. Wendy's, I'm guessing, according to this, will have the ability to purchase real-time advertisement placement. So maybe for a week or for a day, they'll be able to be like, oh yeah, just showcase this, So that's pretty cool. But I feel like it's pretty thirsty in the business that says like, damn, video games too. Like y'all that thirsty to make money. Y'all finna sell advertisement space in a video game. Like this is why they always tell you guys with the video games you have to have internet service. You know what I'm saying? So that way they can just sell you more shit. That's why they be like, you can't play this game without being online. It's not because they just want to be cool. It's because they want to be able to sell you stuff. Dang, the camera is tweaking right now. What are you on, fam? What you on, fam? Okay. Alright, let's try this. Damn. That thing, this is the worst it's ever did. I've never seen it do that before. That was actually pretty scary, ain't gonna lie. I feel like I'm playing a video game where the camera thing gets messed up. And like the person, like his computer is getting hacked and stuff. God forbid, I would never want my computer to be hacked. I don't have nothing niggas would want to hack anyway. But you never know. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. We're still here though. I'm gonna just continue to talk, and like I said, if the camera decides to work, then I'll put it back on. My apologies though for the viewers, So, let's go. Alright. Patience is a virtue that I'm so grateful to have. So like I told you guys, so on Twitter is not much, you know what I'm saying? We're about to wrap it up right here. Okay, well, I'm gonna deactivate it, guys. Sorry. The camera is tripping right now. But Pizza Hut is being sold in a $2.7 billion deal. Yum Brands, which also owns KFC, Taco Bell, Habit Burger, and Grill, is expecting to make a $2.3 billion from the sale. So, Yum Brands sells Pizza Hut for $2.7 in a major restaurant shakeup. Yum Brands has announced plans to sell Pizza Hut in a pair of deals worth $2.7 billion? Damn, the tweet said, it said billion on me. And in its ownership of the pizza chain and completing a strategic review that began in late 2025. The company confirmed that Pizza Hut's operations outside mainland China will be acquired by private equity firm Long Range Capital for approximately $1.5 billion, while Pizza Hut's mainland China business will be sold to Yum China for roughly $1.2 billion. Both transactions are expected to close during the third quarter of 2026, pending regulatory approvals and customary closing conditions. Yum said the sale follows a comprehensive review of strategic options for Pizza Hut that started in November 2025. Once the transactions are completed, Pizza Hut will no longer be reported as a division of Yum Brands. These transactions enable Yum to be a more focused company that continues to leverage scale, technology, and talent to accelerate our raising the BAR priorities. it says bar, but they have it in like it's an acronym. So I'm guessing it means something to these guys. Bar. Gotta turn off the camera again. I'm about to say one thing my mom said, which I still have to learn to honestly manage, of course, is when something doesn't talk, you can't let it upset you. So I can't let this camera upset me, but I do gotta try to figure it out. But it's really because I'm on stream. I think it does that, you know, while I'm recording. Like if I was to not be recording, I'd probably have a better chance at doing it. But like I said, we still talk, you know. Dang, I don't want this part to be just all black though for the video. That'd be awkward. I guess I'll just take it with the glitches. Like what? Do I gotta fix the wire? Like, what's up with you? What's up with you, man? Who shot you? Let me try. Sorry guys. Sorry for the audio listeners, cause y'all like, nigga, this don't even bother us. And it keeps saying that my computer doesn't recognize it. You better learn to recognize, my boy. I'm like, all I have is this webcam. Wow, now it's not even activating. That is so sad. Okay. Well, now it's working, so listen to you. But priorities and deliver sustained values for our stakeholders. So not for the customers, for the stakeholders. As usual, these companies don't care about the consumers. They care about the people that make money from the brands. You know what I'm saying? Which at the end of the day, I guess, as a Pizza Hut connoisseur, I'm not really too big on Pizza Hut anyway, so that doesn't like affect me directly. But if it was Domino's, I'd probably be a little hurt. But yeah, so that's it. So, you know, that's good to know as far as that goes. And then the Joe Budden podcast co-host Mark Lamont Hill says Jay-Z teaming up with Target to mark the 30 years of reasonable doubt is a bad look. And I agree. But let's hear what he says.
Covering it. A lot of people, a collectible insert. A lot of shit is going to be $40. The thing is, it's exclusively going to be at Target. Okay. And a lot of people are not happy that it's going to be at Target. Why? They still boycotting Target? Exactly. And still, I'm with the people. I see a lot of niggas in Target. Stop it. Y'all niggas be doing all that shit for the podcast, but be in Target with your stupid ass hoodies on, with your fucking hat covering your eyes. I see a lot of you niggas in there. Where do you be at when you see them? No, by Target. Aisle 6. I see. Oh, so that nigga, you be in Target too, nigga. Y'all niggas gotta stop lying. I hate when y'all do that, bro. It's all right. Yes, we stand up for, what was it that happened? Racial justice. Yeah, we stand up for racial justice and all that. But what happens is, here's the thing. A lot of you guys are following a fantasy. Half these niggas that saying that, they don't stand with you. No disrespect, they don't. They are in Target. They're buying an air fryer. They're buying freeze. They're buying a fucking safe. What? Soap. They're in Target. Everything. And they're trying to hide and go like late. They're trying to go on the low. But I see them. Medicine. I'm with you. But I see him. And I was in Target because I bought a new air fryer to double shit. We don't suppress nobody's voice up here. And we brothers. We in support of each other. However, when the racial injustice... Nigga, you wasn't talking to. Shut your ass up. Shut up. Tell him to take it out. Tell him to take it out. You was in Target too, nigga. I seen you, nigga. When the racial injustice... I was really talking about you. Ain't no way you two shop at the same Target. The same shit that what you mean, nigga. I'm in a good area, nigga. I'm not like you trying to call Itch for advice on what Target to go to, nigga. Or what Wawa to go to. I go Dolo, nigga. For death. Yeah, but that's gangster. We not supposed. Well, I was in Target. My girl needed some shit about it there, but it was empty. It was. When I went that 1 or 2 times, it was empty. The get money niggas in there. But yeah, Target is expensive. The racial injustice. Target ain't cheap. Oh, I was gonna say on the racial injustice shit, just let Mark cook. Just let him go. I think we coming after. I like when Flip represents the other side because we need that perspective. Mark is phony, boy. I think he represents. Mark is phony, yo. How am I phony? Because if you let Flip go, he'll get into his fucking FWA bag. FBA? No, FWA. Oh, shit. FWA. Oh, yeah. I forgot that. Flip goes, he'll get he's 100% FWA. I don't know what that means.
The foundation of white Americans.
Nigga, I don't fuck with
Foundation of whites. My boy loved them foundation of whites.
That's not true,
You don't play.
nigga.
Nah, you repping them
You
niggas.
tired of them. I'm telling y'all that people are lying. That's it. That's what I'm saying. There's people lying, but we're gonna let
I mean, honestly, I don't think we need to play the whole clip. Generally speaking, though, you know, the point of the clip is just basically like whether or not Jay-Z is kind of wrong for, you know, doing his release exclusively at Target. I say yes, and I just say yes because I just feel like, what? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we're not going to sit here and act like niggas don't be reading the room, bro. Like, niggas be over here saying, you know, like I said, we just be acting like niggas don't be on the internet. I'm going to just put it like that to be on the best. I guess, because I'm like, at this point, I got to accept that I'm probably not going to be able to work with Jay-Z because I'm probably going to say something that his camp might not agree with. But we got to stop acting like niggas don't be on the internet. I feel like right now, the thing that Jay-Z has been getting, like, slack for is his solidarity with the people. Like, does he really stand with niggas? Because, like, it be coming off like he stand with niggas for his ultimate benefit. Which, like I said, when you a nigga that makes a lot of money, it's like with the Kevin Hart shit. Once you get to a certain point when you're making a lot of money, it's like, yeah, like, for them, you know how with us, I guess because we're still, like, under a certain tax bracket, it's like we're black first, then we're whatever we are. For them, it's like, no, they're a philanthropist, billionaire, and then they're black. You know what I'm saying? So I guess for them, it's different. So that's why their focus is always the money first and then being black. Because in my opinion, like I said, I just feel like somebody around him, if not him, Beyonce's people, I'm not going to speak on nobody's kids. But I feel like, nah, they're tapped in enough, you know what I'm saying? The Beehive, people around her, they should be tapped in enough to be like, Beyonce, I don't think this is a good look for Jay-Z. I feel like Jay-Z, especially because, like I said, he clearly feels some type of way about the shit he's been going through based on his Roots Picnic, you know what I'm saying, freestyle. The nigga's been keeping his ear to the streets and he ain't been fucking with it. I just don't feel like this is a good look. And I don't feel like this aids you. You know what I'm saying? If the goal is to trying to, like, show that, like, you know, you're a real nigga, just be a real nigga. And I feel like being a real nigga is by doing real nigga shit, which is, you know, where everybody, even if you do fuck with personally fuck with Target, because I tell you guys all the time, I'll be shopping there because of convenience, and I know I need to stop, but I don't know my replacement yet. I try to do Food for Less, but Food for Less don't have the, you know what I'm saying, because Target is like all through, and then there's no freaking Walmarts near me, so, essentially speaking, my option or the choice would just be Walmart, but Walmart is just too far, but maybe this is a sign that, like, if I want to get on Jay-Z, I got to be on my shit too. You know what I'm saying? I can't even talk about him and then still be shopping there. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, that's the end of episode 50 of the STAYDOWNLA podcast. I think and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for your patience and your, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, your patience just for fucking with me, y'all, because this took way longer than it should have and not like that. You know what I'm saying? I could have definitely had this way more done. And I actually like the timing because I'm like, this is, if I could have my podcast be this long, this would be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like right under 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? 1 hour 50. I think that's cool because I feel like people's attention span, this is right in the sweet spot of y'all attention span. So let me know if you guys like the shorter episode or if you guys like want me to be, you know what I'm saying, fully extended with the movie reviews. Because that's really what shortened today's episode was the movie review. Normally I spend like 20 minutes on it, but I try to do like just 5 to 10 minutes, just a quick. What I thought, what I think they did well, you know what I'm saying, the pacing, score, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying, time with it, whether or not I recommend it, and then my score, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like that was good, you know, nice and efficient. But like I said, it's your boy K-Sax-P. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I hope to see you guys again. I hope you guys decide to, you know, subscribe, follow me on Spotify, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to everything, you know what I'm saying. I got ample time somehow to, you know, get the promo out the way, you know what I'm saying. You know, I'll be back again this Friday, you know what I'm saying? So when you guys see this one, don't be surprised there's going to be another episode this week. So this episode technically is supposed to be for last week, but like I said, I just started a new job, so my schedule is a little bit all over the place. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. It's your boy K-Sax-P. I'm out of here. I don't know why I blew y'all a kiss. I'm sorry. That's, you know what I'm saying? Sorry about that.